We have some big updates to talk about regarding Derek and Latisha, but before I get to those, I do want to give a quick shout out to the sponsor of this video. Rose Forever is a company that makes handcrafted rose bouquets made with special oils that make the bouquets last up to a year. And Mother's Day is right around the corner. So if you want something your mother is sure to love, you can use my code AMBER30 and get $30 off a flower bouquet. And you can also use my code AmberFree and get free shipping as well. So make sure you check that out if you're interested. But now let's get to the tea. So after I made my last video talking about Derek and his girlfriend Angel, after they went live on Instagram while Derek was in prison, he called in on the phone to Angel and she put him on speaker, and he was being asked what sent him back to prison. And he just said, oh, I sacrificed for my relationship with Angel, but he wouldn't specify what exactly he sacrificed. Shout out to one of my sources that slid into my DMs after my last video and shared some information about why Derek is currently in prison and when he's expected to get out. So Derek only has a few months left in prison. He is expected to get released on June 14th of 2024. And just like I estimated in my last video, I figured he'd be locked up for about 6 to 12 months. So he'll do about 6 months in total once he does get out. And now let's get into why Derek was allegedly sent back to prison. According to my source, he got in trouble for traveling out of state. So since he's on state and federal parole, he's not supposed to leave the state unless he gets permission from his parole officer. Well, he ended up leaving Cleveland, allegedly, and he was up in Baltimore living with his girl Angel, and he ended up getting in trouble somehow, and his parole officer caught him, and he ended up getting arrested, going back to prison for that. And when he was arrested, he allegedly told his parole officer that he had to go back to Baltimore because Angel was having a miscarriage. Apparently, Derek's grandma got sick of his BS, kicked him out, and then he was staying with family members before he started staying with Angel, and his family cut him off because he allegedly was stealing their cars, stealing money from multiple family members, and just on all kinds of BS. And they got sick and tired of it. They cut him off, and then he started staying with Angel, and then he went to Baltimore, and now he's back in the joint. When I listened to that live of Derek and Angel and reacted to it, in that live, Derek was claiming, oh yeah, I went to the casino before I went to prison. I won 50 racks one time. I made 20 racks another time, and every single dime went right into Angel's pocket. Well, it may have went in her pocket, but I'm sure as soon as they got home, he's probably asking for it back. But according to my source, they actually showed me receipts of conversations that girls who had wrote Derek had with him, and he admitted that he is not allowed in any casinos in the state of Ohio anymore. He's completely banned because they are accusing him of cheating. So he kept winning money back to back. He won $50K, $20K according to him, and then another time he was saying it was like $15,000. They got suspicious, started looking into him, and they're like, nope, you're not allowed back. That's pretty much all the updates I have on Derek. Now let's talk about Latisha. So I reported yesterday that Latisha was arrested, and she is now bonded out of jail, and we now have more information about her arrest. So she was arrested for second degree theft. She had a $5,000 bond. Sarcasm and the local news ended up sharing exclusive details on why she was arrested. So according to Sarcasm, they got a hold of the criminal complaint, and it says detectives with the Davenport Police Department conducted an investigation regarding reported theft that occurred on April 26th of 2023 with the business of Boss Tax and Accounting Services. The defendant, which is Latisha, she offered tax services to the victim. Latisha does the tax services for the victim, and it sounded like they hadn't done taxes for a few years because they owed for 2022 and 2021. So they owed over $8,788. They owed $40 to Iowa in 2022, $457 to Illinois in 2022, $4,159 to the IRS in 2022, and $4,132 for 2021. So after Latisha was done doing her taxes, she's like, okay, you can pay me the $8,788 and I'll take care of everything for you, and then you don't owe any more money. So the victim was like, okay, this makes it a lot easier for me. They handed the money over to Latisha. Latisha never paid for this person's taxes. So now they still owe $8,788 plus all the fees on top of that and interest for not paying on time and being so behind. And they're just completely out of almost $9,000 that Latisha has stolen from them after they entrusted Latisha with their taxes through her business. I mean, that's not typically how it works. You typically go and pay the state and the federal taxes separate, and you send out the money, or you can pay it online. And it seems like this person just thought, oh, I'm going to a business, so this has to be legit, and they got royally screwed over. So now Latisha has made the local news, and I'm glad she's starting to get some local coverage so people can know, so other people don't lose their hard-earned money. And we've been talking about Colleen on this channel. She's the girl that Latisha stole over $10,000 from when Colleen trusted her to do accounting for her business. Well, we've been waiting on some updates on that case because Colleen filed a police report. It was in the middle of being looked at by police, and she did share an unfortunate update today. Colleen posted, "Feel free to blow this number up," and then she shared the number, and she said, "and demand boss tax and accounting be charged for my case. I was informed today that the county attorney will not pursue charges regarding theft of services because she did open a FreshBooks account even though she was kicked off of it due to failing to pay for the software." So FreshBooks is like the app or the software they use to do accounting service. So she says she did open a FreshBooks account even though she was kicked out of it due to failing to pay, so she couldn't do work. "I am so beyond boiled with the Davenport Police Department. Basically, the only option is to file a civil case." And that is so disappointing. And with a civil case, I mean, I just don't think it's worth it. It could cost hundreds of thousands of dollars to take it to civil court. And then in the end, even if Colleen wins and they end up granting a judgment and Latisha having to pay money to Colleen, she's probably not going to pay that money because Latisha, she's gotten in trouble so many times for money she owed. Like back in around like 2010, she had a daycare business and she was making decent money with it. She wasn't reporting her income and she was getting all these government benefits, and she ended up getting in trouble and she owed over $20,000 that has yet to be paid, not including the PPP loan she's taken. The PPP loans weren't for her boss tax and accounting service business. I believe it was for this travel service business she claimed she had. And when I researched that, I could not find any information at all on that business except an Instagram page she made after she applied for the PPP loan. And she hasn't been active on it ever since. And she owes over $100,000 and other civil judgments she's had, and in total she owes like almost over $250,000 that she is yet to pay back. This lady is just a lifelong scammer, and she seems like she doesn't have any kind of empathy for anybody. She's just all out for herself and whatever she has to do to get ahead. She doesn't care who she has to step on to get there. And after she was bonded out of jail, she posted to her Instagram stories, "It takes a strong person to be positive in a negative situation. Thank you for all your support. I pray for a positive outcome for both parties. I hope we can work this out quickly amongst each other instead of dragging an unnecessary situation out for several years that will benefit no one. Stay blessed." Girl, are you serious? You talking about dragging something out for years when you drag paying back this person for over a year now because you stole money from them over a year ago? And this is the same exact excuse she always uses to try to defuse the situation in hopes that the person will end up dropping the lawsuit or the case. She tried doing the same thing with Colleen. Here we are, like it seems like almost a year later, she's yet to pay Colleen back. She tried doing that with both landlords who tried kicking her out and getting her, no, not tried, who ended up evicting her and handling it in the courts. And she kept saying, "Oh, let's handle it outside the courts. I got you." And she kept putting it off and putting it off. To this day, she has yet to pay a single dime back. That is just ridiculous. Karma's eventually gonna come knocking on her door, and when it does, it's not gonna be pretty, because you can't keep screwing over people and doing terrible things to people and not to expect anything to come about it. And I wonder if her husband Keith has any idea how big of a scammer she is, because I'm sure she downplays it to him and lies to him like she does with everybody else and acts like, oh, it's not a big deal. Like for the longest, she was trying to tell people, and even recently, she was trying to tell people like all the sarcasm articles talking about her and exposing all the different lawsuits and evictions. She tried to claim, oh, that's just an article, it's all lies. Yeah, all of the stuff in the article is quoted from court documents. And you can find all those court documents on the Iowa court website. And that is pretty much it for the updates on Latisha and Derek. Let me know what you guys think about everything in the comments below. Check out Rose Forever for Mother's Day if you need a gift for your mother or a loved one. And don't forget, you can use my code AmberFree and get $30 off. And you can use my code AmberFree and you can get free shipping. So make sure you don't miss out on the amazing offer. Give this video a thumbs up, subscribe, and thank you so much for watching.